It is 7 o'clock. I see. Welcome our Dr. Patel, our newest board member. Good seeing you again.
Hi, Dr. Z. How are you?
Good seeing you. Oh, and good to see Ojal, and our Sarah Williams is here. Ojal, where are you? Oh,
Hello.
hello. Good seeing you again.
Good seeing you too.
And I know Sarah's here as well. Sarah, are you here?
Yes, I am. Hello.
Oh, Sarah, we missed you last month. Good seeing you. Come back. Good. All right. Well, we got our coaches on. We got a lot going on. Michael, are we ready at YouTube? In Command Center gives us a thumbs up. So, Madam President, let me bring up the agenda so we can follow along. And let me share my screen. Here we go. All right, so we need, I know you don't have a gavel, Miss President, but if you want to hit your hand on the, you're more than welcome to call the order.
Well, how about if I just say, I'd like to call to order this meeting of the Board of Education, North Brunswick. Please rise for our salute to the flag.
I'll have the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to call to order and welcome all the community members joining us via Zoom. This meeting of the North Brunswick Township Board of Education is being held virtually via Zoom in order to practice social distancing. This meeting is being recorded and broadcast via YouTube. The link for the call number via Zoom is available on our website. Any votes required during this meeting will be done via roll call for the good of the order.
Mr. Brockman.
Here.
Mr. Brooks. Tony?
I saw him come on. He was on. Mr. Brooks?
Okay, I'll just move along and he'll jump in. Mr. Duran Harris? Miss James?
Present.
Miss Keefe?
Here.
Mr. Liguori?
Here.
Dr. Patel?
Here.
Miss Toth?
Present.
And Miss Gonzalez?
Here.
I'm going to circle back. Mr. Brooks, are you here?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Thank you. And Mr. Duran Harris? Barry's not here? Okay, thank you. Well, we have a quorum.
Thank you very much. I'd like to welcome all the community members joining us via Zoom. This meeting of the North Brunswick Township Board of Education meeting is being held virtually via Zoom in order to practice social distancing. This meeting is being recorded and broadcast via YouTube. The link for the call number via Zoom is available on our website. Any votes required during this meeting will be done via roll call for the good of the order.
Madam President,
Sir.
we need your number 4 board president statement.
Yep, gotcha. The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Law, the public notice of this meeting, which included the time, date, and location, was distributed by 3 p.m. on Wednesday, March 17, 2021 in the following manner. Posted on the bulletin board reserved for announcements in the board office, Old Georges Road, North Brunswick. Mailed to the Home News Tribune, Sentinel, and the clerk of the Township of North Brunswick, and delivered to the 9 duly elected board members. Dr. Zielinski, this evening, we're starting with some presentations.
Yes, we have a full boat of presentations, and we look forward to all of them. First one is with a heavy heart. In 2010, I believe, I was able to be part of the stage where she walked across and got a high school diploma. And little did we know, a few years later, she was joining the Board of Education. And boy, what a powerful impact we're so proud of all our teachers preparing our students. I got to see firsthand because Tracy Rubin joined us and quickly became the chair of personnel committee. If you know anything about schools and districts, we're 80%, we're labor intensive, and given the role of personnel chair was a big honor, and she handled it so well with composure and maturity. I'm very proud that you were from our high school and the way you represented yourself on the board. And unfortunately, we tried to talk her out of getting married, but she decided to get, no, I'm just teasing Tracy. He left us to go on with her life, and we know she's dearly missed as a superintendent, and at first as your superintendent when you were a student, and then I like to say as a member of the board, because superintendents are members, we don't vote. As a colleague, Tracy, you are dearly missed. We don't say we could replace you because our job is to continue what you left behind, your contributions, and improve upon it. And we're certainly doing that. We have excellent new board members, but we certainly miss having you around. But once part of the board, always part. And it's great, gives me great pleasure to see your name on the plaque at the new building that you work so hard with the other board members to to ensure our community continues to grow and prosper in the area of education. But that's just from me. We wanted to see you in person. We know it's so busy. It's hard to get together, but I wanted to turn over to our board president to give some sentiments from the board perspective. And of course, after Ms. Gonzalez goes, we certainly would open up to any other board member. So Ms. Gonzalez, it's with pleasure I present Tracy Rubin, ex-board member, but really, the contributions and how much we miss her for being part of the team.
And once you've been a part of this team, you can never get away from us. You're always a part of us, Tracy. As a board president, I have, as Dr. Sikowski also commented, I've seen your expertise truly bring additional value to our organization. Your expertise as a personnel manager and someone who works daily with staff decisions, etc. It was a no-brainer to place you in the role of lead for our personnel committee. And as Dr. Sikowski said, you managed this with great skill, with tremendous compassion, and with insights that we would have never had if you hadn't been a member of our board. And so you brought tremendous value every single day, every hour that you spent with this board. And personally, I hate to see you go for that and many other reasons, not the least of which is I feel that we built a great friendship that I hope will continue for years to come. At this time, Ms. Rubin, I would like to present to you a plaque on behalf of the Board of Education. It reads, presented to Tracy Rubin in recognition for your service to the children of North Brunswick as a member of the North Brunswick Township Board of Education from 2018 to 2021. Thank you for your service to our town, to our children, to our staff, and to the community at large.
Thank you so much. That means so much to me. Thank you. I guess I'll clap for myself too. Thank you so much. I mean, if I can, this is normally how it goes. You ask if anyone wants to say anything, but I know Dr. Z wanted to open it up to the rest of the board, and certainly no pressure there, but I did want to just say thank you so much. And although, yes, I am leaving so I can get married and kind of focus my attention on those priorities, because planning a wedding it's a job on its own. I am so grateful for the experience that I had on the board, for the time that I was on the board, and also just in the friendships and partnerships that I've been able to cultivate with all of you. And for sure, I'm not going to go anywhere. I mean, it's very hard to get rid of me. So once I'm a part of a team or a group, that's that. And I mean, Dr. Z, you put it so perfectly that I walked across the stage in 2010, which is already more than 10 years ago, and you know, shook my hand when I graduated, and here I've been able to see other students, alums grow with North Brunswick Township, and I'm just so grateful that I was able to give back. That's really important to me, to be able to give back and just extend, you know, pay it forward and extend my gratitude however I can. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rubin. We're so proud of you. Other board members, I will leave some time. Tracy, Ms. Rubin, if you don't mind, I did give Ms. Gonzalez the keys to your car after you leave the board, the new car. But we have a tight
The joke's
budget.
on her because I don't have a car. So.
Yeah, no, we have a tight budget, so we're going to give you a plaque instead. So I know you'll be appreciative of that.
Yes, that works perfectly.
Okay. Any board members?
Yeah, Tracy, this is Tony. I just want to say thank you for all of your service and dedication to the board, and you will truly be missed. And I wish you the very best in your life as a wife, and you know, enjoy your family. And I wish you the best in all of your endeavors.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Brooks. And again, Tracy, thanks for joining us. We know how busy you are. You're more than welcome to stay, but we're going to move on. You may want to just stay for some of these presentations. No pressure. We have some outstanding people we want to honor. And Madam President, with your permission, can I move on to the next presentation?
Yep, as long as there are no other members of the board.
I didn't see any.
Okay.
I just saw a lot of clapping going on. And so with our next presentation, we are fortunate enough to have the New Jersey STEM Monthly Educator of the Year, Miss Janine Lanphier, our grade 5 through 8 science and math supervisor. Miss Lanphier has been a champion for STEM and STEAM education. I'm going to turn that over to Ms. Shiroka, our director of curriculum, who is Miss Lanphier's direct report, and with the two and the department have really taken us to the next stratosphere, looking at not only how we prepare students for their future into the high school, but really doing a lot of work that or preparing students for life, addressing coursework and application of coursework. So that's going to take them well beyond the years of high school. So to have in North Brunswick the Educator of the Year of New Jersey in any field, but particularly STEM and STEAM, that's amazing. I'm really proud of that. So without further ado, Ms. Shiroka, you want to talk a little about our next presentation, our next honoree?
Yes. Letting that next person
I'll
in.
be letting them in. You
With jobs, okay. Good evening, board members. It is my pleasure and honor this evening to recognize Mrs. Janine Lanphier, our supervisor of math and science in grades 5 through 8, as Dr. Zykowski said. Mrs. Lanphier has been honored by the New Jersey STEM Pathways Network as New Jersey STEM Month 2021 STEM Educator of the Year. That is a mouthful. For those of you who may not be in the know, and I think most of you are, however, STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Mrs. Lanphier has significantly increased the math and science success rate of our underserved students through the implementation of the innovative AMPT program. AMPT is algebra through manufacturing processes, entrepreneurship, and design, which started first at Linwood and is now at North Brunswick Township Middle School. Additionally, Mrs. Lanphier's strong knowledge of both math and science education, as well as computer science, and a strong passion for music and art, have brought our district a visionary, creative supervisor who is driving the development of courses such as the AMPT program, engineering by design, computational thinking, and data science, to name just a few. Since arriving in our district, she has worked to strengthen our algebra pathways at the middle school level and implemented honors algebra-based physics. Mrs. Lanphier works with our students on the Math League competitions and the statewide STEAM competitions. It is with great pride that I present the New Jersey STEM Month 2021 STEM Educator of the Year Janine Lamphere to the Board of Education.
Miss Lanfear, I know you're here. I saw you check in. Where are you, Miss Lanfear? The mic is yours.
I'm here.
Oh, here you are.
I-
Okay.
Yeah, I have to say I'm a little overcome by that. And, thank you. Members of the North Brunswick Board of Education, Dr. Zakowski, the North Brunswick staff, and the North Brunswick community, I can't begin to thank you for, recognizing me in this effort tonight. I certainly want to say that this recognition belongs to many, many people. I have been the beneficiary of the support and the partnership of so many staff members in implementing the varied ideas that we have come up with since I arrived in 2014. But I truly continue to be amazed and humbled by this recognition that is, naming me specifically. Any innovation, I'll talk about innovation since this is a STEM award, any innovation requires out-of-the-box thinking. But sometimes when we really work to innovate, it requires on-the-edge thinking. And to have some of that kind of thinking within an organization requires the partnership of a whole lot of people. And I see many of those people on the screen tonight. It certainly means that central office support through funding and efforts, all the way down to when we first started AMPT, we couldn't even find a place to buy the Cricut machines. That was an educational vendor. And fast forward now, 3 years later, we just found them available on standard educational vendors. So, I do think that it does speak to the idea that the support has been there for ideas that are really, out there and advancing the opportunities for the students. But truly, I can't thank the community enough for the support, because it is my passion to increase the achievement of all of our students. And as Ms. Shiroka did mention, I do love all the content areas, but I do believe that STEM is a particularly important opportunity for us to give all of our students, particularly in the realm of making sure that we have equity. And so again, all the way from the top and especially down to the teachers who implement my ideas every day and improve them. There is no doubt they take the ideas and they improve upon them. And the families that place their children in the programs that are brand new, I just can't begin to thank everyone enough for that support, for those partnerships. And in summary, I would say that I think that this recognition is really a measurement of where the district is going. And thank you.
Well done, Ms. Lanfear. On behalf of the district, our community, I want to say congratulations and thank you. Just for those who may not know, who don't follow the morning broadcast, although our ratings are up, maybe one of two of you may not be on the morning broadcast and watch it. Ms. Lanfear was a guest during International Women's History Week. She brought out her students, of course, giving credit to everyone else around her except taking it for herself. But our students were amazing and did a great job of representing themselves in the programs that Ms. Lanfear has helped bring to our new middle school and even our elementary school levels. So Ms. Lanfear, thank you for highlighting our students and being part of our educational community, specifically the STEAM and STEM educational community. Congratulations. And I want to turn it over to our board president. Unless any board member has a question, I'm going to hold off. Any board member have a question? I wouldn't want to play Jeopardy with Ms. Lanfear. She knows the gigawatts and flux capacitor answers to everything you want to know. But Ms. Lanfear, 20 years from now, when you have great-great-grandchildren or grandchildren, you want to be able to say, I was a STEAM or STEM New Jersey Educator of the Year. So we're going to put in a part of our permanent minutes. I'm going to ask Ms. Gonzalez to read the resolution on behalf of the Board of Ed. Ms. Gonzalez, you unmute. There you go.
Sorry, not in the right order. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're good.
Be it resolved by the Board of Education that the following resolution be approved. Whereas the Board of Education recognizes the efforts of all staff members and wishes to acknowledge its appreciation for the services rendered to the students and citizens of North Brunswick. And whereas the Board of Education recognizes the efforts of Mrs. Janine Lamphere, Mathematics and Science Supervisor, grades 5 through 8, who has been chosen as New Jersey STEM Month 2021 STEM Educator of the Year. Ms. Janine Lamphere has shown exemplary work in bringing STEM programs to the North Brunswick Township School District, increasing the math and science success rate of our underserved population through the implementation of the AMPED program. Whereas the Board of Education of the Township of North Brunswick does hereby express its warm appreciation and heartfelt thanks to the dedication and faithful service of Mrs. Janine Lamphere and for her tireless commitment to the New Jersey STEM and North Brunswick School District community. Now therefore be it resolved that this public acclaim be given to Mrs. Janine Lamphere for her exemplary leadership at North Brunswick Township High School District and for making a difference in the lives of the students. Be it further resolved that this resolution be spread upon the minutes of this Board of Education and that a copy of it be given to Mrs. Janine Lamphere. Congratulations.
Thank you, Madam President. Thank you, Ms. Lamphere. And we're going to move on, but just amazing accomplishments. Our third presentation is our winter team and player achievement. We also had many of these folks on, including some of our guest students, including some of our coaches and our athletic director. And I just want to say, before I turn it over to our athletic director, we talked last month when we went with the football. We did the football acknowledgement of the fall season. I just want to say again to Mr. Sean Morrell how wonderful his leadership has been, leading not only our programs in achievement, but leading our programs that follow the safety and security protocols. And very, very proud of how we were able to maintain an indoor season. Many other schools were getting things canceled. We had maybe a blip, not our fault, for freshman season of boys basketball. But other than that, our teams are able to finish as many games as permitted by the state. So you have a two-tier winter season. This is the first tier of the winter season. You may know that girls volleyball and swimming is going on now. That's the second tier of the winter season. But the first tier was the boys and girls basketball and bowling. And so we're going to honor those athletes. And we have a few athletes that really were recognized at the county and conference level. But I also want to thank Mr. Neller. He's on the broadcast tonight. His leadership at the high school, ensuring that Mr. Morrell had enough support and our teams were in a position to be able to compete and compete safely. That's the most important thing, as that's the life lesson we hope they take away, to never give up, always compete, adapt, and work around some adversity. And I want to thank you, Mr. Neller, and thank you, Mr. Morrell, and of course, all the coaches, but we're going to talk about them right now. So, Mr. Morrell, I saw you on. You're up next to talk about our first award winners. Do you have the list in front of you, or do you want me to post it up here?
You could post it up, or you could just simply let me know who it is, and then we'll go from there.
Yes. Well, this one needs no introduction, but I'll post it. Our player of the year, Mr. Morrell, it's Niall, and we were fortunate to have Niall on our broadcast in the morning as well. So you have it. You see the posting. It's all yours.
Sure. Thank you. I believe we have Coach Zielinski here with us to speak about the individual players. I just want to extend my gratitude to everyone involved in athletics this year at the high school and beyond, especially the coaches and most importantly the players who are in the end the individuals who we do this for, and also the individuals that we need to thank the most for their cooperation and for their successes in the classroom and on the field or on the court. This year, I'd like to introduce Coach Zielinski for girls basketball, overall record for girls basketball this year was 11-3. They had the best record in the white division, and they were, I believe, ranked the top 4 when we look at how the pods were, top 4 in the county this year. So tremendous successes by the team and by Coach Zielinski. So, Coach, you could take it away.
And before Coach goes, Ms. Morel, Coach, welcome again. Coach also represented himself very well on the broadcast as we had him on, because Coach, people don't know, Coach Morel, before he became our athletic director, was the girls basketball coach. And he was on there on the all-time wins list. You were very close, Coach, and I believe Coach Zielinski either passed you or right behind you. So I find that, want to congratulate Coach Zielinski breaking the 100-win mark and on his way to someday breaking Coach Brahini's mark, and we'll talk about that. So congratulations, Coach. I know you took your time to catch up to Coach Morel, but now I think you feel comfortable. He won't get mad and once you pass him on the all-time list, even though he's the athletic director. Welcome, Coach Zielinski.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Z. I just had a little internet glitch, so I didn't hear everything that you said beforehand. But thanks so much. I got back in there when you were talking about the 100th win, and certainly I appreciate it.
I said you were going to take it easy on Coach Morel because that's who you're going to pass for the all-time wins, right? So.
Well, we're just trying to live up to it. Coach Morel had it going pretty good here, back in the early 2010s there. So it was a great team with some great players, for sure. But first of all, I'd like to say to everybody, Board of Education, Dr. Zukowski, Mr. Neller, Mr. Morel, just thank you for everybody for making the season possible. Right from the very beginning, I knew within our own team, and I could see it in the boys basketball team too, how happy and joyful the players were to actually take part, in this activity, be with one another again, and do something that they enjoyed and they loved to do. So I'd just like to thank everybody who made that possible, for the season to happen. I'd also like to extend my early congratulations from our program and for myself personally to Coach Brahini for all the awards that you'll hear about in a minute. All of them incredibly well deserved. An amazing person and a great, great competitor and an awesome coach. And has given so much to our student athletes over the years and all the other coaches who have coached with him as well. So I say congratulations for that. And of our list, every one of our players, we just feel so incredibly positive about as a coaching staff. We had 3 players who did get postseason honors. Niall McCargo is listed first on the list there. She was, as she was last year, she repeated as all white division first team. This year, her sophomore year, she received all GMC honors. She was the leading scorer in the county last year. She was the second leading scorer this year. In our last 2 games against red division opponents, she scored a total of 51 points. She averaged 19 points a game for the year. And she also led our team in rebounding. But her contributions go well beyond that. We have a great team. And as had some other players in our program too, but her especially, and she overcame those things and allowed herself to be part of our group, which I think everybody helped each other out. It culminated with Niall also being named by the Home News Tribune as the Girls Basketball Player of the Year, which is quite a high honor indeed, especially for a sophomore. So, Niall deserves every accolade that she gets. She's an amazing person, a straight A student. Last time I checked, I think her lowest grade was a 95, if I'm correct. And, she does a wonderful job in the classroom and as a leader in our school community as well. So congratulations to Niall. The second person on the list here is Megan Farrell. Megan, for the second year in a row, was named second team all-white division. She's an incredibly versatile performer for us. She's somebody who was in the top 3 of stats for us in scoring, in rebounding. She was the top percentage 3-point shooter on our team and second in overall 3-pointers made. And she was, as the year went along, became a better and better defender. Finished the year with some great defensive games. At the end of our season. So congratulations to Megan, who's a junior, and also is starting up volleyball season now. And our third player on the list here is Anne-Marie Quagliata. She is a sophomore. She was selected all white division second team. She was our second leading scorer with 9 points a game. She had 29 threes for the year, which it was only a half a season. She'll be on pace to well go beyond 50, which is quite an impressive year. So she's an excellent shooter, and she's worked very hard to make the rest of her game an all-around basketball game. Somebody who really contributed a great deal to us and had a great deal of respect from other coaches, as all of our players did in our division. So once again, thank you to everybody. Congratulations to our players. So proud of them. And, to finish with the best record in the white division was a testament to their hard work and their commitment and their dedication. They really represented your township, our township, our school community with great pride and dignity and class.
Thank you, Coach. Well said. Congratulations to our girl student athletes. But do we have Niall, Megan, or Anne-Marie on? We certainly we'll let them speak. I know they're shy. They let their game do their talking. But, Coach, did you see them on? And we certainly, if they want to say anything, you talked about underclassmen. That's the best thing. Not only having great players that are coming back for you, Coach. So that's great.
Well, they are shy, though. I don't know. I saw Niall on here, and I saw Megan on here before.
And Megan, Anne-Marie, Niall, you're an old hat. You were on the TV 15. Oh, well, I don't see them stepping up. They're more than welcome to. But I will say it again, Coach. Thank you for your leadership. Thanks for working with the team and following all the protocols, keeping them not only athletically on top of their game, but taking care of their well-being overall and making sure that they stay safe and healthy during these crazy, unprecedented times. So congratulations for a great season and to the young ladies, or your whole team. I got to watch them a little bit. Your whole team working so hard and following the protocols, and particularly Niall, Megan, and Anne-Marie. Thanks again. Mr. Morel, how about introducing our next guest to introduce the boys basketball?
Sure, absolutely. First, we want to recognize Coach Berhini. Not only did Coach help put together, with, of course, the efforts from his team, a 9-6 overall season this year against, let's be honest, some of the toughest competition I think any team in the county has played. St. Thomas Aquinas, Colonia, Westfield, Newark East Side, Bayonne, South Brunswick, to name a few. A tremendous overall season. GMC Pod champions. They won their tournament, the Laurel Henning Pod. And Coach Berhini, we really want to take a second to recognize his accomplishments as well. Coach was, of course, recognized for the prestigious New Jersey Coaches Scholastic Association Hall of Fame. He was inducted this year, very well deserved. Coaches well over 415 wins, I believe it is, here in North Brunswick. And this year, he capped it off with not only a white division Coach of the Year recognition, but he was also nominated by his peers to be the GMC overall Coach of the Year. So we'd like to congratulate Coach Berhini on everything he's accomplished here this year and in the past. Thank you, Coach. And Coach, you can go ahead and discuss the accolades of your players. And thank you again.
Say congratulations to the coach.
I'd like to thank you, everybody. Thank you, Sean, for the very nice words. Looking back to see where credit is really due in a lot of ways, you heard Sean, he did mention that our schedule this year was a little bit different. Many of the schools that we were scheduled to play did have pauses due to COVID. And And Mr. Morrell was unbelievable in the amount of time and effort he put in, that we were able, the state allowed us to play 15 games, and through his efforts, we were able to get all 15. Many times canvassing the state to look for matchups so we could play with. So again, as we all know, unprecedented times, and his efforts were certainly appreciated. Talk about our team a little bit. Certainly, we were allowed the first week, very unusual, start off in the MBTHS parking lot with some portable baskets. And from the first moment that the kids came out the first day for outdoor practice, you could sense, as Coach Zielinski mentioned, their gratitude and their happiness to be out playing a sport that they love, and playing with their friends in a great team atmosphere. As the season progressed, we played, I think, unselfishly. I think we played, we talk about the lessons that can be learned. We played with a gratitude. And I think, we played with the attitude that some things we might have taken for granted in the past, we're not taking for granted this year. So it was a very satisfying season in that regard. We did have a successful year. We played some top teams. We had a great win against St. Joe's, who was ranked in the top 20 in the state. And eventually got to our pod tournament, where, again, we were able to win a championship. Some of the highlights of our season, we were very proud of the overall team effort that we had. It's one of the things that we stress, the cooperation and the teamwork. But we did have two individuals who were cited for their great seasons that they had. First was, I would call him a point guard. I would call him a shooting guard. I would just call him a basketball player. Jabri Fitzpatrick had just an outstanding season for us. I don't know how many people follow Rutgers basketball. We had a great season at Rutgers. We had a tough ending the other night, but at the high school level, I always call him, he was like the Geo Baker of our team, the heart and soul leader of our team, and somebody that very, very proud of for how far he's come. And he got recognized as both a white division, all white division team, and all GMC team, which recognized him as one of the top 8 players in Middlesex County, which is a great achievement. The other individual who brought on much glory and some praise for himself at the end of the year was Donovan Crawford, our big man in the middle. Donovan, in addition to being an all-division player, accomplished something only 9 other boys have done in the history of our school, and now he joined the 1,000-point club, finishing with a total of 1,020 points. I know Dr. Z had him on, and he did a great job in the interview on the morning broadcast. So proud of Donovan. Again, an individual accomplishment, but done in a team effort. Okay, he got the 1,000th point in our championship game of the pod tournament, and it was all about the team and his secondary. It was secondary to him, the individual accolades. So to wrap up, I think we had a great season. I'd like to thank all the administrators, the Board of Ed, Dr. Z, Mr. Neller, for making the season possible, and really thank all my players for having a discipline and being able to complete the season. And we look forward to the future, with a lot of optimism.
Coach, before I ask Jabri or Donovan if they want to say a few words, I got to ask Coach Zielinski, Coach Morrell, Mr. Nella, have we ever had, not since I've been here, the GMC, divisional, the conference, and an inductee into a Hall of Fame all in one season, all in 1 year? This got to be a first?
I would assume so.
All in one season, Coach Brahini. So before we talked about your players, and you were on the morning broadcast, and much like Miss Lanphier, you deflected all your awards and accomplishments to the players and the support from the administration and your assistant coaches. So there's no reason why. There's certainly no reason why to doubt that you're a Hall of Famer, and making sure everyone's involved and making sure everybody gets credit, even though you were leading the team and the school. So thank you so much. Congratulations. And Jabri or Donovan, I know Donovan was on. He was shy in the morning too, but he was a great addition to our broadcast, scoring 1,000 points unselfishly, winning the pod championship. And Jabri, I know you're to be a top player in Middlesex County. That says a lot. Top 8 player, all the high schools, and they're big high schools. We're not shy in Middlesex County. We have big high schools and a lot of children playing basketball. So to be a top 8 player, congratulations. Are they on, Coach? I didn't see them. I don't know. We got so many people on. So
yeah, I don't see them right now. They're being quiet. So one of the first times I heard them be quiet. They were they like to express their opinions most times. So if they were here, I'm pretty sure they'd be chiming in.
All right. Well, we wish them well. We thank them, and we thank you, Coach. And congratulations again for.
I really appreciate the kind words and everybody's efforts to help us have the season. Thank you very much.
We're going to turn it back over. Thank you. A lot of clapping. Congratulations. But Coach Morrell, we have now bowling, and we have some outstanding bowlers. And I know you wanted to bring in our coach. I'll turn it back over to you.
Sure. Thank you. For boys and girls bowling, we have Coach McCormick with us today. Who put together a very solid season through the midst of some chaos with the bowling, teams, bailing out on games for a variety of reasons and trying to fill it in. And in the end, I believe we were able to successfully complete a full season, both boys and girls, and at the same time have some great successes, especially individually, as we're going to see now. And the girls bowling team was also nominated and recognized as the division sportsmanship winner this year. So congratulations, Coach, and to the team. So Coach, you could take it away. Thank you.
Hi, thank you. I want to reiterate what everybody said and, thank the board and Mr. Morrell. It was between the snowstorms that we had and the teams bailing out. We had a lot of matches to make up, and being in a bowling alley, it was a tight squeeze. And we managed to do it with only, I think, 1 try match, which means we bowled 2 teams at the same time. Just to give you a little bit, so bowling, if anybody's gone bowling, you usually bowl like right next to the people, right? We had probably a good 20 feet between us and the team we were competing against. So it was quite a different season this year. We couldn't even really see the score of the people we were competing against, but I give my athletes all the credit in the world because they still had tremendous seasons. So I'm going to start with Zach Linewall. He's been a 4-year varsity bowler. His high game this year was a 256, and that led to a 698 series. He finished the year with an average of 208.4 in bowling. That 0.4 is pretty important. He was 4th overall in the Bolero division. So we didn't have red, white, and blue. We kind of had pods. And in the Bolero pod, he finished 4th. And he was 10th overall in the GMC. He can correct me if I'm wrong, but I know at least the last 3 years he has been in the all division team. And at least 2 of those, he was all conference. I can't remember about freshman year, but I definitely know the last 3 years he was a member of the all white division. And then 2 of those also the all conference team. So congratulations to Zach. And then we have Darcy Frushine. I know they are both here. Darcy is also a 4-year athlete. Sorry, my cat is blocking right in my way. Very jealous. Her high game this year was a 248, and she finished that with a 651 series and a 194.6 average. This finished her 2nd in the Bolero pod and 3rd overall in the GMC. She was also in the all-white division last year. She, from her freshman year to now, has made a 50 pin, at least 50, 133 to 190, whatever it is, like a 60 pin improvement from freshman year to now. She has put a lot of work into her game to improve. It shows, and she is now going to go on to Sacred Heart University next year to continue at the collegiate level. So congratulations to both of them. And then again to our girls for winning the sportsmanship award this year. We had both teams were great, and they were well-mannered, and we had fun this year. So congratulations, everybody.
First of all, thank you, Coach. Congratulations. I do want to say, Sophia, we're gonna make sure she doesn't come back on. She wrote some things on the board here. I don't know. We'll take care of that. So I apologize. I don't know what it was on the agenda, but Sophia is no longer with us. And I want to thank you, Coach McCormick. Your cat was even waving the tail and exulting in the honors of Darcy and Zachary. I just also want to say that Darcy was on the morning broadcast as well, as she was highlighted for her outstanding bowling and high game and high series. But she also, we mentioned on the broadcast, she's also working with another bowler in the county and doing bowl for the Battle a Youth Scholarship to fight to benefit the American Cancer Society and breast cancer support in May. So in addition to being an all GMC bowler, she's also going above and beyond, continuing with her community service. So we're very proud of her. Darcy or Zachary, are you on? You want to say a few words? Or most of the athletes have been shy.
I didn't know who was going first.
Go ahead, Darcy. It's welcome.
I just want to say thank you to the Board of Education for letting me be here tonight. I also want to say thank you to the kind words to my coach, to Coach McCormick, for all the kind words she gave tonight. And also congratulations to Zach as well for an amazing season in 4 years. I want to say that this has been one amazing journey, and to cap it off this way was such an amazing opportunity to do this. And I'm so happy that even though it was a wacky season, I'm able to continue forward to the next chapter. So yeah, one chapter is closing, but another chapter is beginning. And it's very emotional for me. I don't know why I get so emotional. But it's a very special thing, and I'm happy that I'm keeping myself busy, like the tournament that you mentioned. I am trying to keep myself busy because I don't know.
You got free airtime, Darcy. Great job. Talk about it a little bit. Give us some. We got millions of viewers, so talk about it real quick.
Yeah, I have my flyer right here. It's all fancy. Yeah, so me and my friend Mackenzie King, who actually was first in the county, I know that. She and I decided to join forces to create this event in honor of our private coach, Debbie Stein, and her family, because their family went through breast cancer. And we wanted to do something special to give back to her. And so we thought, what a great way to take our talent in bowling to combine into this event. So it's on Saturday, May 8th of Mother's Day weekend. And it's a 4-game tournament, and you don't even have to be a bowler to compete. You just have to get a sanctioned card, which is not expensive at all.
If I do it, Darcy, if I bowl, can I put the rails up like I normally do?
Unfortunately, adults are not allowed because we have adults and youths competing at the same time through the like.
guys, hacker.
So, Darcy, thank you so much. We'll have you back on. We'll have you back on and to highlight this again. Thank you again. I didn't want to take away from Zachary. Zachary, you mentioned him. Is Zachary want to say a few words as we?
Sure.
Hi, Zachary. Welcome. Congratulations.
Thanks.
All GMC, you and Darcy. That's amazing. All GMC. That's very hard. We got a great county.
Yeah. So I'll start off with some obligatory thank yous. First of all, thanks Mom and Dad for birthing me and raising me. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. McCormick, for obviously being the coach for the 4 years. Definitely quite a time. I can say this on behalf of Darcy as well. I'm not sure if Debbie's here or not, but if she is, thank you, because you literally created Darcy and I, as you have many people in Middlesex County. But it's been a fun 4 years. As Mr. McCormick said, I've been in the GMCs, at least white division, probably all conference for the past 3 years. I did not make it my freshman year. But yeah, it's been fun. Obviously not the season we expected, but definitely better than nothing.
Well, thank you, Zachary. We appreciate it. It has been a crazy year, but we thank you and your team for following the protocols and doing so well, staying safe, and becoming an outstanding bowler. Another year, all G.
I'm happy.
So we have Ms. Soroka, you'll take care of it. Debbie is now will be. Thank you. We seem to have Zoom bombing going on a little bit, but bear with us. We're taking care of things. We do have a wonderful presentation now, and I want to congratulate all the coaches and the athletes, and again, Mr. Neller and Mr. Morrell for this continued success during this unprecedented school year. Without further ado, this would have been LP, Livingston Park's month, to highlight all the wonderful work that they have going on. And so without further ado, Madam President, I almost forgot. Stay on, athletes. We want to memorialize all these achievements. So, Madam President, are you there? Yes, you are there. So thank you. Mute it. We got to unmute you, Madam President. That's okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, very good.
Great. Be it resolved by the Board of Education that the following resolution be approved. Whereas the Board of Education recognizes the efforts of our student athletes to perform at their highest level of interscholastic competition, it also recognizes the accomplishment of exceptional achievement. And whereas through leadership of their coaches and with a firm determination to be diligent while preserving excellence, they stand among their peers and represent the North Brunswick Township School District in an exemplary manner. Now, therefore, be it resolved with this public acclaim given to the North Brunswick Township student athletes and coaches for their individual honors, and the North Brunswick Township High School individual athletic teams for their accomplishment. And be it further resolved that North Brunswick Township High School student athletes, coaches, and individual athletic teams shall be recognized appropriately, and that a copy of this resolution will be spread in the permanent minutes of this board. Congratulations, everyone. Thank you for your excellent work.
Thank you, Madam President. So we will now turn it over, and we thank you for being patient and waiting. We do have our Livingston Park Elementary School presentation by our principal, Mr. Dawson. Mr. Dawson, take it away.
Hey, good evening, Dr. Z, Mr. Soroka, members of the board. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak with you tonight, and congratulations to all of our athletes and coaches, and Ms. Rubin and Mrs. Lanfear. Well-deserved honors tonight. It's my honor to present about Livingston Park this evening. So I'm going to share my screen and share with you some special aspects of Livingston Park. So we all know this has been a unique and very different school year. And I think if you asked any educator, they would explain to you that it's been a challenging school year. But on behalf of Mrs. Wright and Mrs. Finnegan, it's my honor to share with you tonight how Livingston Park has met those challenges. We'd like to share with you what the school year has looked like from our teachers' perspective, and also through some video footage of interviews we've done with our students, what our students have focused on this particular school year. So without further ado, let's take a look at this school year in the life of our students and our staff. As you'll see, we have so much to be proud of. This year, our teachers have completely reinvented how we teach in response to the pandemic. All of us, classroom teachers, academic support teachers, special area teachers, therapists, counselors, they've all completely mastered an entirely new approach. And as their principal, I am so proud of what our staff have done to make this year fun and engaging and collaborative and enjoyable for our students in person and our students at home. As the school year began virtually, this is what instruction looks like. Teachers are managing students who are working online on a computer screen, and also students in the classroom. Here, Mrs. Reba presents a kindergarten poetry lesson. And notice the components of the lesson, the visual nature, using colors, pictures. Notice how every student is doing a snapping hand motion. We learned very quickly, we have really strong results when we engage kids in as many ways, as many senses as possible. You can imagine how challenging it might be to lead 20 kindergarten students from behind a computer screen. We have a lot of help. Luckily, here at LP, we've had a lot of support from our parents as well. Many of our teachers were able to help train our parents at the start of the school year into how to use different aspects of technology, like Miss Rice did here with a lesson for her classroom parents, how to use Google Meets, how to manage the controls, how to log in, all of these things. We also had great support from Mrs. George, who is our technology ambassador. Started the school year learning so many new things, how to use securely, Pear Deck, Seesaw, screencasts, Google Slides, different types of Chromebooks, Google Classroom. All of our teachers have managed all of those different technologies. And they've tried to find ways to connect with their students to make learning fun and engaging. One thing we really love using are breakout rooms. Breakout rooms take a large Google meeting and allow the teacher to manage it into multiple smaller class sessions all at once. Students may be in a breakout room with other students, with small groups, with their teacher to get more personalized and immediate feedback, or to simply work in private. They're a valuable piece of technology. So all in all, we've learned so many new things, and our students have learned so many new things. We thought we would ask some of our students what they thought of the different technological programs they're using this year. So we did some focus group interviews, and we're going to share with you some of the students' thoughts. Before I do that, a little disclaimer, Mr. Dawson is many things, but a successful video editor is not necessarily one of them. So I apologize for when my image comes into the screen. Certainly the students are much more interesting to hear from than me. Let's see what they say.
So one thing I'm liking about third grade is that we're learning new things and our brains are getting bigger. I just want to make sure that my brain doesn't get too big like that.
My favorite part of the school year has to be the websites that we go on.
I like using Jamboard for like our independent practice. Because it lets you have a text box, it lets you write the words, it lets you like fractions, it's easy to write them. And like Anaya said, when we do breakout rooms after we're done sharing, we get to free talk. Yeah, it's my other favorite part.
What do you do in like a breakout room? How does that work?
The teacher sets us up, and then there's usually like 5 or 4, 3, and sometimes 2 people in like one meet. And then sometimes the teacher asks us to tell each other what we read.
The Spanish teacher and my homeroom teacher introduced us to Kahoot, and I really like it because we get to like pick, like we also learn by picking the answers, and we also learn when the teacher tells us the answer at the end.
Well, I have to agree with Emily because I really like Jamboard too, because not only because you can do all those features, but you can also have friends join the same Jamboard as you.
So all in all, each child has a different preference, and our teachers have mastered how to use all of these different programs in different ways to connect with our students. Here's an example of what a Jamboard lesson looks like. This is from Ms. Westbrook and Mrs. Garcia in 2nd grade. You know, we had so many great examples of lessons. I couldn't use all of them, but I wanted to show you what some of these look like. So these students are learning about coins and how to use addition skills. And in this lesson, students are asked to buy several pineapples that are very reasonably priced at 10 cents. Don't we wish they all were 10 cents? And they're asked to find different ways to combine coins to purchase them. Here's why this is a great resource. If we felt the need to provide more support for a student, we would be able to insert a graphic, maybe that shows the value of each coin, and differentiate this lesson individually for students as we need. There are really neat resources that we can use for our students. Here's another example. This is a 1st grade lesson, another math lesson. And Here, the teacher has modeled how students can solve a math problem using a couple different strategies. Take a look at these hand signals up here. All students are using hand signals to show the teacher how they're thinking. Are they still processing a question? Do they agree with a classmate? Do they have a strategy to share? So even though everyone is online, the teacher is able to look at her class and see that the students are following along. As you can imagine, unmuting 20 students at the same time to share an answer is not a great idea. But our teachers have mastered new ways to check for engagement and understanding. Here's a great example of that. This is a kindergarten class with Mrs. Delaglio and Miss Friedman. The students are using hand signals, using their bodies, using motion to show that they understand the concept of the lesson. Can you guess what letter the students are learning right now? Probably, right? So what we've learned is that using active physical movements helps keeps our students engaged, and it prevents that screen fatigue from setting in. And many of us might know that if we've had a lot of online meetings. And you know what's super impressive? Even our youngest learners, even our preschool students are doing a wonderful variety of online and independent activities. We have 3 wonderful preschool sections at Livingston Park. And as you can see from this example, preschool students are doing so many different things throughout the day. Under the leadership of Mrs. Nicosia and Mr. Passner, the pre-K program here is flourishing. Mrs. Gons, Mrs. Nigro, Ms. Vogel, and their teams, wonderful additions to our school. The teachers have done some amazingly creative things. All of our preschool classrooms and all of our students have access to these virtual libraries. The students can just click on a book and a videotaped read aloud will come onto their screen. Our classroom paraprofessionals have recorded dozens of read alouds for our students to use with new books every month. For our older students, they've taken advantage of really cool online resources. Here's one of our 3rd graders, Yaroslav, talking about an online database of books called Epic that he loves.
On Epic, we have all the books, all kinds of books, and we can read it. If in person we don't have that kinds of books that we like to read, then in Epic we have it.
Our students are taking advantage of so many cool resources, but you know what? Not everything can be done on a computer. In writing, our students are utilizing paper-based and online resources. All year long, our teachers have been putting together bags of resources for students to use at home. And our youngest students are still learning the basics: how to use a pencil, how to write each letter, how to have spaces between our words. Those are things we can't teach on a computer. Here, one of our kindergarten students is showing her written work to the class. And writing looks a little bit differently for this 3rd grade student in Mrs. Alvarez and Mrs. Palais' class, where they can do their work on Seesaw or Google Slides. The nice part about those programs is they can collaborate with their peers. They can get instant feedback. The teachers can give differentiated supports. Students can do super neat things. We also know, though, that not everything can be done on the computer. And there's only so much screen time kids can have, especially in the younger grades. So we have done a variety of hands-on activities for students to enjoy. This is one of Mrs. Benora's students, a 1st grade student learning how to use different measurements and different units to measure his foot. Here's some really creative things Miss Shammy's 3rd graders did at home, finding math problems to use at home, finding concepts, area, perimeter, polygons at home. And as the weather's gotten nicer, students are doing work outside. Here are some of Mrs. Delbarello's 3rd graders showing what they know about alliteration by making some poems on the sidewalk. I'm telling you guys, the amount of creativity displayed by our teachers has been beyond impressive. On the computer, off the computer, in school, at home, the lessons are fun, they're engaging, and the students are loving them. So we thought we would ask some of our students, what subjects are you enjoying this year? We asked them to share with us what are their favorite things to learn about. And as usual, Some of our classes, our special area classes, are especially popular. So let's see what our students have to share with us today.
The activities that the gym teachers do for us,
What activities do you like?
like the fitness challenges, where we do just dance.
Man, I was doing one of those fitness challenges a couple weeks ago. I was worn out in like 2 minutes.
Tiene que confiar a la persona que está haciendo. Porque si está bailando, tiene que así, mira. Así parece cuando hacemos el ejercicio. Este muñequito. Y cuando necesitamos copiarlo, yo también tengo ese juego de dance en YouTube. Tengo ese juego como de un juego de Roblox como correr y yo también tengo el juego de usarlo cuando tienes que correr. Siempre es bonito. Me gusta el baby short de YouTube. To be honest, it's not gym. I think gym is very exciting because you get to dance and stuff, but it's not. I don't think it's for me. What I like the most is Spanish. I would say that my favorite subject. It's been my favorite subject for years. Math. In math, I enjoy learning multiplication and about different types of numbers. I'd have to say reading is for me. Because ever since virtual started, I've really gotten into reading, and I've been finishing like one book in a few days.
There's so many different subjects, and every different subject, every class, every lesson is a chance for us to connect with students. And some of the most amazing work has been done by our academic support teachers. Academic support teachers are doing a variety of things to provide supplemental instruction for our students. They might be doing small group lessons or parallel teaching, where they take a large class and divide it into 2 groups so the lesson becomes more personalized, more differentiated. Students get better feedback. They've done so many neat things with their resources. Let's take a look at what some things ASTs are doing. They might be doing small group instruction where students get to unmute and get immediate personalized feedback. They might use resources we've sent home like Smart Pals to help students work through complex problems or tricky words. They might be doing work simultaneously with students through online resources, giving them immediate feedback, working on items together. Every afternoon, students are doing work at Livingston Park. Classroom teachers are providing small group instruction for students in math and language arts, like this lesson from Miss Smith's 4th grade classroom. Even our special area teachers are providing academic lessons for students in small groups. Our music teacher, our phys ed teachers, our Spanish teacher, our technology teacher are helping students learn language arts skills, math skills in the afternoon. All hands are on deck to help support our students. Also, really cool stuff is going on with positive reinforcement. Our teachers are finding that students are really responding to efforts to recognize them. We all like to be recognized when we're working hard, doing the right thing. Maybe it's class dojo points. Maybe it's a positive phone call home. Or if you're in Mrs. Ballard and Miss Vargas' 4th grade class, it might be sunshine points that you get if you're a good listener, if you participate, if you help stay focused. And when the students earn these points in the classes, they get to choose the rewards. Maybe they get to read a book to the class. Maybe they choose a brain break or a spirit day. But you know what's most popular? The students love having a personal lunch with their teacher over Google Meets, just talking. Because more so, now more than ever, what our students love is the connection to their teacher. Now, more than ever, relationships matter. And in the past year, where we've all been so isolated from one another, our students need to connect. their social health, their emotional health depends upon that. So our staff has been very mindful this year of how to build that social and emotional growth in our students. And the younger grades, things like STAR student presentations help. Kindergarten students, first grade students get to make a presentation about themselves to their peers. They might share their favorite colors, their favorite foods, things they might like to do when they grow up, family celebrations, things that their family enjoys doing, their aspirations. These presentations help students become confident and appreciate their peers. Sometimes it can be as simple as sharing your writing, like a silly story you wrote, like Mrs. Wagner and Mrs. Droz recently did in first grade. Other times, it's classroom celebrations, like this first grade group of students celebrating the 100th day of school. And other times, we do things as a school. One of our favorite moments this year was when Ms. Fackelman hosted a winter sing-along. We had almost 200 families join us online to sing holiday songs, to sing our school song, Count on Me, to sing a song that Ms. Fackelman and our school counselor, Ms. Pryor, wrote together. And you know what the best part was? Being together, seeing everyone's face on that screen together, having fun with their family, enjoying time as a school. So even though we've been separated, we still have a chance to engage with our students beyond the classroom walls. Really cool stuff is happening. Kids have been engaged with people all over the world. During Read Across America Week, our students heard from authors all over the world. In Mrs. Singh's class, students have Skyped with peers in Brazil, Argentina, Saudi Arabia. They've visited Monticello. They've dialogued with scientists studying sharks. Technology opens up opportunities for our students and also for our parents. We use this text messaging service called Kinvo, and that allows us to send personal text messages to each of our families. It's been a game changer at LP. And in February, LP staff members sent almost 30,000 Kinvo text messages to parents, to families, to tell them how wonderful their children are doing, to help answer questions, to set up meetings, to give homework help. We have wonderful parents that's helped us be successful this school year. We also have a really special program at LP called the Dual Language Program. And in this program, we help make our students bilingual, able to read, write, speak, truly communicate and understand two languages. Students that speak English at home are learning Spanish as a second language. Students that speak Spanish at home are learning English as an additional language. The students receive the same curriculum as everyone else, like this place value lesson in first grade, but they get it in two languages. And more importantly than that, in the process, they learn to work with people from different cultures, different backgrounds, people who can support them as they work to acquire a second language. So we asked some of our dual language students how the year is going. And I thought they might say, well, dual language is great. Maybe I'll get some new opportunities when I'm older. Maybe I'll have more career opportunities. It surprised me what the students had to say. For them, it's all about connecting and helping one another. Let's see what our dual language students have to say about the program.
Hablo inglés. Cuando una persona viene a hablar inglés, yo hablo inglés como hello. También dice hello. Entonces, mi amiga dice hello. Porque si una persona dice inglés, yo hablo así. Si ellos no saben cómo escribir casa, voy a escribir casa para ellos. Si hay otro niño que habla otro idioma, Pues hablar el mismo idioma que el niño habla.
For our students, the connections matter. The relationships matter. So knowing that, you can imagine how excited we were when we knew that students would finally start to come back into our buildings. We were so excited to welcome them back to in-person instruction. And to make that possible, some really special people in our school did a whole lot of work. I want to highlight a few really important people for the community. Officer Roundtree and Ms. Marquez, our security aide, have been here every day, handing out Chromebooks, handing out resource bags, helping parents, helping our staff members, greeting visitors. Our school nurse, Mrs. Dioria, is the best of the best. Night, 7 days a week, she's been helping families, staff members manage COVID-19 in a cool and calm and knowledgeable way. She's an invaluable resource. Our school custodians, led by Mr. Smith, our school secretary, Mrs. Locus and Mrs. Fuzese, have been doing so much work to help our families. Without them, our school would not be able to function. So on that first day of hybrid learning, we were so excited. It was great to see our students again. It was great to see them in person. It was great to connect again, not only online, but in person as well. And sure, school looked a little bit different. We had to learn a little bit about what to do, what not to do. But we learned, our students learned, using a mask, safe distances, using our own supplies, and they've excelled. They've excelled because their teachers have supported them and their parents have supported them. We have the best parents at Livingston Park. We have very supportive parents, and for many families, their entire life has changed in the past year. They've completely readjusted everything. And so many of our parents have done such a wonderful job in supporting the learning of their students in school and at home. You know, just last week, we saw a post on Facebook asking the community what parents thought of Livingston Park School. It was so heartwarming to read some of the beautiful replies people in the community shared about how they love their teachers, they love the students here, and that they know that this is a school that supports them. We could not do this without the help of our parents. And so at the end of the day, at the end of the year of a very challenging year, it's our staff, it's our students, it's our parents who have risen to the occasion. It's been a difficult year, it's been a challenging year, but my goodness, I am so proud. Mrs. Finnegan is so proud. Mrs. Wright is so proud of the work that these folks have all done all year long. And as always, we get our best feedback from our students. So we ask them, who are the staff members who are making a difference in your life? How would you describe Livingston Park to the community? And here are just a few of the comments they shared. You know, for elementary students, it's very simple. If you ask them if they like school, it all boils down to, do they enjoy working with their teacher? And man, we have got some of the best staff members here at Livingston Park. Let's hear what the kids think of us, and let's hear what the kids think of Livingston Park.
Really like it, especially since that Nashami's the best teacher ever.
No, I don't think I can decide because there's Miss Del Borello, there's Miss Delaglio, Miss Friedman, and there's Miss Benora and Mrs. Griffith, and there's so much stuff going on. So,
Mr. Johnson, I think the thing about Mr. Johnson, he has lots and lots of patience with his students. So he tries his best to make sure his students are doing good.
Yeah, Miss Saber.
Tell me about Mrs. Saber. What do you enjoy about working with her?
Like, whenever you get an answer right when you're working with her, she kind of says a good job in a way that makes you feel confident and you can solve any math problem. Well, my favorite teacher is probably Miss Venuti and Mr. Grow. Mr. Grow because he will do like crazy dances. Like once he did Backstreet Boys. There's so many good things about it that I can't even say. So, one, we have a very nice principal. We have nice friends. We have nice teachers. Yeah. I would describe Livingston Park as like very fun, enjoyable, and like a lot of things I just can't describe at once. So it would be very cool. We have a lot of good things, like a lot of good teachers, a lot of good students, so everything. Well, I was still thinking about what I was going to say, but I describe our school as a calm, nice environment where you get to learn. I'd say that it's the best school ever and that it's one to remember. It's going to be my favorite one. And they've got so many fun things. There's a lot of fun traditions that they do.
I would say it's highly recommended. 5 stars automatically. I'll say it has all these fun teachers, fun ways to learn.
Yeah, good, fun, amazing. One kindergarten through 4th grade, I enjoyed my time here.
So whether it's coming up with a new way to keep learning fun, whether it's Backstreet Boys dancing, or spending hours as an adult trying to figure out how to use a new technology, or help a child learn a new language, or help a child connect to someone in a different part of the world, the parents of LP, the staff members of LP are a team of incredibly dedicated people who love their work, and they love more than anything else the children of this community and finding a way to serve them. And believe me when I tell you, these folks will do anything above and beyond to make learning successful for them. And I could not be prouder, along with Mrs. Finnegan and Mrs. Wright, to be part of our team of students and teachers here in our school. And we appreciate all of your time tonight in learning about our school and how the school year has gone so far. Again, for the opportunity.
Wow. Great job. Mr. Dawson, it's just a wonderful presentation. It's great to see that we brought the students' voices into the presentation. I love that. It's Emmy award-winning level. I'm going to turn it to the board, though. Any board members would like to address Mr. Dawson about the presentation in Livingston Park?
Dr. Sikowski, I would just echo everything you said. Really impressive. Wish we could take it on the road to the rest of the schools so that they could maybe think about, what makes their school special, what makes them feel as excited as your students are at Livingston Park. What an exceptional job, and thank you for sharing this with us.
Well, thank you.
Believe me, Ms. Gonzalez and Mr. Dawson set the bar very high. The principals are getting the text right now. You got a high bar to jump over the next couple of months. So thank you, Mr. Dawson. The only thing missing was Miss Fackelman. I saw her with the ukulele. I thought she was going to play one for us tonight, and I miss it. That's all. I always see her throughout the community playing that ukulele with her wonderful children and students. So thank you, Mr. Dawson. Thank you. There's more than just Mr. Dawson, as he mentioned. Thank you, LP. You guys rock. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, we've been going. It's been going well, and that concludes our presentation part of the agenda, Madam President. I'm going to share the screen. I want to thank Ms. Chiroka for taking care of. We have some non-invited guests that were trying to make it difficult coming under pseudo names, but we're back operating, Madam President. And again, thank you to all of our staff members and students and for their presentations and their awards. It makes the meeting ground us in why we are here and having these meetings. So let's talk about the meeting minutes. Number 6, Madam President, we got to get some motions to get some business done.
Yes, sir. Mr. Brockman, can you take number 6?
Sure, Madam President. I'd like to make a motion to approve the following board minutes: the conference regular public Zoom meeting for February 24th, 2021, the executive Zoom meeting for February 24th, 2021, the special Zoom meeting for March 1st, 2021, executive Zoom meeting March 1st, 2021, special Zoom meeting March 2nd, 2021, and executive Zoom meeting March 2nd, 2021.
Second.
Thanks, Ms. Toth. Mr. Brockman,
Yes.
Mr. Brooks,
Yes.
Ms. James,
Yes.
Ms. Keefe,
Yes.
Mr. Lagori,
Yes.
Dr. Patel,
Yes.
Ms. Toth,
Yes.
Ms. Gonzalez.
Yes.
The minutes are accepted.
So, Madam President, we have communications only through our administrative and student and committee reports. And with your permission, I would like to start my administrative report.
Please.
Again, I want to thank our staff and students, our coaches, our administrators for making this a wonderful meeting with presentations. This board met and they spent 2 hours presenting to the community a budget meeting. And so I am sure they are happier listening to the students and the student voices than my voice as we talked about our district budget meeting from last Saturday, fiscal year 22. I'm just happy. Again, I want to say thank you to all involved, to our board members, and I'm happy to present that we let the community know that we presented to the county office, the executive county superintendent's office, a budget that has 0 tax increase for either the new school, the debt service, or the general fund. Absolute 0. And we're very proud of that because we'll be able to, within this budget, maintain and grow our current programs while we're taking a serious look. And we took a serious look at understanding of the difficulties and challenges of a COVID unprecedented pandemic. And it's more than a year. As you know, budgets are developed over a year. So it's been officially more than a year, but it's going on to a second year, and it will be beyond as we make sure not only this budget was a 0 increase for fiscal year 22, we wanted to make sure, as our finance chair, Mr. Lagori, said during our meeting, make sure we do it the right way so we don't have a tax holiday or a 0 increase 22, and then in 23, there's a problem. So we're very happy to present that to the public. And I want to thank everyone involved, including the administration, the cabinet, because it's not just the cabinet and positions in central office. This starts in early October, where our principals, our supervisors, our teachers are getting together and projecting a budget that we have to prepare and get to the state months ahead of time of the next school year. So again, it's a lot of work, a lot of efforts, a lot of coordination, a lot of collaboration, but I want the community to know that we never lost sight of our role as providing the best education possible while we are considering who funds our education in the public arena. So thank you to our residents here in North Brunswick, and we're happy to present a 0 increase budget. Reminder to our residents, part of our initiatives, our full day kindergarten, mbtschools.org, our website. If your child is 5 before October 1st, registration is open. It's opening soon next week for our Parsons, but you can register anytime when you go online, 732-289-3040. If you're not sure, our website will show you where your child would go to school. Must be 5 before October 1st. If they are 4 before October 1st, they can register for our full day, no charge pre-K program. And we're at about 80% capacity as we are working with the community, our town council, mayor, to increase room and space where available so we could get to 100%, but it's fully funded through our state grant to get full day pre-K. So we're very excited about that. Again, that number is, you can look on the website, mbtschools.org, or that number, if you have any questions, 732-317-6302. I just want to do a couple announcements about some of our wonderful, wonderful students. We have a young man in the middle school. As you heard, Miss Lanphier was honored. This young man, Amaruta Jainaganish Amaruta, so I hope I got this right, who recently reached the semifinals of the NASA Moon Pod Essay Contest, the Robotics and Aerospace Contest class at the Brunswick Township Middle School, participated in the NASA Moon Pod Essay Challenge. Students from the U.S. from grades K to 12 participated. The assignment was to imagine what it would be like to live on the moon, and our student, 8th grader, Amaruta Jayaganish, was a semi-finalist winner throughout the nation. So we were very, very excited for our students. And thank you, Ms. Lanphier, for working with, I believe that was Mr. Bichita's class, setting that up and making sure that we were represented. So that was important. And for parents, our North Brunswick Township Middle School PTO is presenting a program this Monday, March 29th at 6:30 p.m. All the information is on the website. You could call Miss Cerna or email her if you want to attend. It's a understanding the middle school struggles during the pandemic. So it's a presentation. It's highlighted in the North Brunswick Township Middle School newsletter. So just a couple announcements I wanted to review. And then I also wanted to share with the community that we are headed towards our spring break. Our food service is doing so well. I want to thank everyone in the community taking advantage of it. Our workers are here very, very early, and they're doing a great job preparing thousands of grab and goes. We are averaging for the week, the last, I would say 5 weeks, we've been averaging about 15,000 grab and goes. Yes, 15,000 grab and goes for the week for our families throughout North Brunswick schools. So when we go on our break, our last food grab and go will be that Wednesday, March 31st, a week from today. So we have this Friday, next Monday, and then Wednesday, March 31st. And then we will not have a grab and go until school opens after the break, because we're on a break from April 1st, early release, till April 11th, which is a Sunday. School continues April 12th to the 16th, all virtual. Now I have Miss Engel, Marianne Engel, our supervisor of nursing, who's been instrumental working with our staff, working with, as you heard Mr. Dawson talk about, the hero nurses who've been helping us, leading us, having a seat at our table, making such wonderful decisions, keeping us safe. I want her to talk a little bit why we decided to, and some of the rules that have been changed at the state level. They've been moving. And we've been doing such a great job bringing our students full day, 5 days till 12 o'clock, and then go back home and do a second session on home. Gives students and families an opportunity to be in our schools safely, maintaining social distancing. Other than the snow days, we've been on a great run, and we're getting better at it every single day. We're incorporating as many students into the program. When parents are going on the wait list, you'll have a survey. You'll be able to let us know if we can put your child back into the program in person. There'll be a process of getting on a waiting list, because we'll line them up with a bus, make sure it's socially distanced. If they qualify for a bus, we'll line them up with a classroom that spacing has been set up to meet the standards. So it's not immediate. We can't just show up at the door. So we put each child on a list and we move them in accordingly. Miss Shiroka will be sending out to the principals to send out a survey to update parents for the fourth quarter. But after we come back from our break, the initial CDC guidelines was that if you were COVID positive or if you had the vaccination, you could go and not be quarantined after 90 days. That was not the truth. That's not what we're hearing. So we're working with our association, which is our labor association, with our president and Ms. Pazer's on tonight, we've been working to continue to set up protocols where we'll be safe. We don't want to come back and have to shut down schools after the break. So we want to come back, get our testing done, get our quarantine that's necessary if one travels or people travel to your place from outside to New Jersey. And just to talk a little bit about it, I'll bring on for my report, Miss Engel. Thank you for joining us, Miss Engel, and all the work that you're doing. But it's so confusing. They changed the guidelines again. The governor came on and said he's back in capacity back again, although he's saying September, we're all in no matter what. Hasn't given us a definitive answer about proms and graduation limits. So we know it's in a state of flux in Middlesex County in particular, still at the high rate issue. We know children need to be back in schools, but we want to do it safely. So I don't know if you want to share a little bit of information with the public and our board tonight.
Sure. I'm happy to do that. Thank you. The most important thing I want to let you know is that we continue to review the guidelines from the New Jersey Department of Health as well as from the CDC. And yes, we do know that the guidelines change. As a matter of fact, we received 3 new guideline papers this week, 2 of them this afternoon. The big message is that we need to continue our mitigation strategies. We are using a layered prevention approach to trying our very best to keep COVID out of our schools. We are staying home if we're sick. We are physical distancing. We are hand washing, cleaning, contact tracing. We're making sure that our students and staff are wearing our masks at all times and wearing them appropriately. That is a new emphasis that the Department of Health has highlighted again in the most recent publication that they just presented to us. We are continuing COVID-19 testing and encouraging testing in our schools. The new guidance is also discussing opening windows, improving our ventilation, and we will continue to do that in our schools and on the buses. We will be utilizing outdoor spaces as the weather improves, and we will continue to educate our school community. Those are the big messages that came out of the guidance. And a few of the points, like I mentioned just now, we really need to reinforce that our staff and students are wearing masks appropriately. There is new guidance related to physical distancing that we're going to be reviewing. Dr. Zielinski discussed those that may have come into contact with someone who is COVID positive. If you are fully vaccinated, which means you have received your complete vaccination and it has been 2 weeks, that's considered fully vaccinated. You do not have to quarantine. And also, if you've had COVID within the last 3 months, you don't have to quarantine. So those are new guidelines that the school nurses will be working with and communicating to our families and to our school community as we make decisions about keeping the school safe and making sure that we keep our healthy students in school and children and staff members that may be sick out of school. Again, Dr. Zielinski also spoke about the travel guidelines. There was some confusing information and it has been clarified by the Department of Health. There are no exclusions from the travel guidelines. So we will continue to follow the New Jersey Department of Health. And basically, the Department of Health really does not want people to travel. They strongly encourage us to stay home if it's possible. But if we do have to travel, the first recommendation is to get vaccinated if you can. Before you travel, be tested to make sure that you are not sick and you do not have COVID. Then wearing a mask while you're away appropriately over your nose and your mouth when you're in public, avoiding crowds and staying at least 6 feet or 2 meters from other people. And then most importantly, get tested 3 to 5 days after your trip and stay home in quarantine for a full 7 days after you travel. And that's even if your test is negative, you must continue that 7-day quarantine. And if you don't test, then you must stay home and quarantine for 10 days. So those are the new guidelines. We will continue to review them and make sure that we're explaining them to our students and our families and our school community so that we can continue to keep our school safe so that children are able to learn to the best of their ability in their classrooms.
Mrs. Engel, I want to say thank you, board members and our community members that are on with us tonight. Ms. Engel has been working tirelessly. For example, all night. I gave her a call after Saturday budget meeting, and she worked all Saturday to connect with the help of Cranberry Superintendent Dr. Jenko, setting up vaccine sites for our staff at the Penn Medical in Princeton. Over 127 registrations. She had about a half hour to get it done, and get it done quick, accurately. And we're continuing work. So we are moving towards getting all those who are eligible, who want a vaccine, to get their vaccine shots. And we're happy our staff is going on a Saturday, as you know, that the day after may be a little tough. There may be a little pause needed. So this way they don't have to miss the next day of school, because we couldn't handle 127 absences in a row in one day. So we're very happy that the staff is working with you, Ms. Engel, and we continue to work together to do what's safe as a partnership. And so again, thank you for your work. Thank you for the update. So we'll keep everyone posted. Ms. Engel also works with our pediatrician of record, Dr. Bert Mendelbaum, who's one of the premier experts and go-to pediatricians in the state of New Jersey. He's also at Penn Medical in Princeton. So we thank him as well for all the guidance. So with that, Madam President, that concludes my administrative report, and we can turn it to our student reports.
Thank you, Dr. Sikowski.
I know they're here. I saw Ojul. She's so patient. I'm so happy to see you again, Ojul. And I know you're joined by your partner, Sarah.
Yes.
So I don't know who's going to go first, but you both have the floor, and welcome back.
Thank you. And to begin the report, on February 26th and 27th, our annual Rockathon was held. 48 students virtually rocked for 12 hours, and they raised over $4,000 for both the North Brunswick Food Bank and Hugs for Brady. And then on February 26th, Black Cultural Alliance virtually held their annual event in celebration of Black History Month. They did an amazing job with all the performances, and Sarah will take it from here.
Hi, everybody. So on March 5th, the Alchemist Theater Company released their virtual theater review, Theater Review 2021. It's still up on YouTube if you want to go check it out. The students involved did an amazing job in performing and producing the videos to put the show together. The SGO Executive Board is happy to report that we have completed our goal of raising $8,000 to assist the Thirst Project in building a fresh water well in Africa. Our school is now being matched with a community in Uganda for the well to be built. And last, the SGO is currently beginning our process of electing officers for our next school year. Officer applications have been submitted, and campaigning and elections will take place after spring break. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Ojul. I know the board may have any questions for our wonderful student report. Keep up the great work. Send the message out to the fellow students. We're so appreciative of your updates and your hard work. That's great about the well, and it's so great about the Rockathon, all that money being raised. And we know academically you are doing well, a great job, but it's also giving back that sends a bigger message that you are learning something that we pride ourselves here in North Brunswick, giving back, giving to others, and helping others. So thank you for providing that message. And I do want to say, Sarah, thank you for the update on The Alchemist. That was covered in the Home News Tribune with a beautiful article and highlighting the wonderful job The Alchemist and our Miss Marks was doing as the advisor for putting in on a play during this pandemic. So thank you again. And if I don't see any board members with any questions, Madam President, the mic is back to you, and you have to take us through the committee reports.
Correct. Thank you. And thanks for everybody that just presented and brought us up to date. It's amazing the amount of work going on in this district, the amount of growth happening in this district. And we should all be proud of how our teachers, our administrators, and our students are rising to this pandemic and saying, okay, we can handle it. We will move forward. So we should all be very proud of that. All right, so let's take a look at our business, at our committees rather. Let's start with business operations. Any updates?
Thank you, Madam President. The Business Operations Committee met on Wednesday, March 17th. Among the items that we discussed, we were provided another update on the Linwood Phase 2 construction. At the time of our meeting, they were about to install the exterior canopy at the ECC entrance around back. Flooring prep by the old music rooms was also going on. The handrails at the multi-purpose room were being installed. The carpeting for the Board of Ed was going to be installed in April. We talked about how the employees from Maple Mead are going to be moving over incrementally during the late spring, early summer timeframe. And the best news of all, no change orders this month on our agenda.
Fantastic.
We discussed a request for proposal or an RFP for a power purchasing agreement for the new solar work at the middle school that we've been discussing for the last few months. Happy to report that the solicitation for that RFP is on tonight's agenda on pages 10 and 11, item IE under the finance area. We discussed the concept of some surplus sales, and this is also on our agenda this evening on page 11 on item IG, again under finance. Mrs. Hawk indicated that we assessed our inventory and vehicles obviously depreciate and age out useful life. So what we're doing is utilizing a website, govdeals.com, and we're listing some surplus property, 2 antiquated buses, a backhoe, a skid steer. They're all listed on the agenda for you to see this evening. We discussed some upcoming transportation bids for routes that were negotiated in this fiscal year. Those bid openings were to be yesterday, I believe, Dr. Z, right?
Yes.
We discussed some
good news, Mr. Ligori. We got good news, so that's great.
Good. We discussed 2 future bids as well that we were preparing. The fiscal 22 lawn cutting bid. We were reviewing those specs. Not we, the administration was reviewing those specs. It's the same scope of work as in past years. They were aiming for a bid opening in the April timeframe for that. And then 2 extra transportation bids for our preschools based on those increases. We're happy to report that that's going to be available for that as well. One of them is for the Accelero on Route 1, and one of them is for Lightbridge Academy on Route 27. We discussed the preschool grant funding, which we were very happy to learn this year has now grown again to $5.1 million in fiscal 22. It's going to allow for 7 additional in-district classes and 1 additional Lightbridge class grant funded. So that's fantastic news. 3 other grants we learned about. The ESSER 2 grant. ESSER, the acronym, stands for Elementary and Secondary School Emergency Relief. $2.5 million, which flows from the federal government to New Jersey to school districts such as ours. A $45,000 mental health grant for items such as workshops and training. And then an accelerated learning grant of $160,000, which will be utilized, which needs to be utilized for STEM-related purposes. We had another conversation on the mercury issue in our high school auxiliary gym. Again, it's a 5-week project that'll include some air sampling and the floor removal, at which point samples will be taken to determine the best course of action after that. It is a 5-week project. We're trying to find the best window to get that work done. And then Dr. Zakowski gave us an update on the fiscal 22 budget. We had not yet had our full Saturday morning budget meeting, but he gave us a bit of a preview. The best news is that there will be no tax increase next year, and we're still restoring positions and adding more curriculum and all good stuff like that. So that would conclude the report. And just as a point of order, happy birthday to Dr. Z tomorrow. Thank you.
I stopped counting, Mr. Ligori. Thank you. Madam President?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Can we hear from the Community Relations Chair?
Sure. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Madam President. So we had a great meeting on Wednesday, March 10th. We talked a bit about the grab and goes, which has been an absolute success. Dr. Z has mentioned that week, the week of March 8th, we had over 18,000 grab and goes for that week, and 6,000 was the most we've ever had on a Monday. So kudos to the team for that. We talked a bit about the staff vaccination program, some partnerships that might be coming in the works. We also discussed the COVID testing update. We are still doing testing at our new middle school. It's every Tuesday from 1 to 4:30. We definitely would appreciate if more people would utilize the service. It's there. It's now open to everyone. So if you feel that you need to get tested, that is available to you. There is more on the district website about that. We discussed a bit about the pre-K and kindergarten registration. Everything is being advertised on our website at this point. March 15th, the application's open for pre-K. Kindergarten registration is also open. Spoke a bit about the summer academic programs coming down the pipeline. We have grant funding, which will allow us to have these summer academic programs, which is amazing. It comes from the CARES grant. We're trying to figure out right now what the structure of that will look like for the summer. We talked a little bit about our summer music camp also. Mr. Egan runs this program, summer elementary band camp. It really helps students academically and socially. So this is something that we're in the planning stages for right now. We also talked a bit about the budget as well. Our meeting was prior to our Saturday budget meeting, so we covered a bit of that. And then finally, kudos to Ms. Rumbo about our niche update. We're coming on a year since we started last April. We had 100 clicks on our program spotlight at the high school. We are outshining some of our neighboring districts, which is amazing. We definitely want to get our STEM presentation on niche, just to let our families know some of the really great things that the district is doing. And that about covers everything. Thank you so much.
Great work. Thank you. Curriculum, Mr. Brooks.
Yes, good evening, Madam President. Hello, everyone.
Sir.
Our curriculum committee met on March 10th, and we were fortunate to have Ms. Soroka, who is the Director of Curriculum and Instruction. We were also fortunate to have our STEM Teacher of the Year, Ms. Lanphier, as well as Jennifer Ashatino. Hopefully I pronounced your name correctly. Mm-hmm. And these ladies presented us with some new and exciting things to come. Some of the things were covered on this Saturday's budget meeting, such as new textbooks, new technology, some items for professional learning and professional development. But we were also presented with plans for the upcoming school year. From the 5th through 8th grades. So 5th through 7th, there's a curriculum called Foundations to Coding, which will include technology electives and programming opportunities. And there was one software that really stuck with me called Codelicious. So Ms. Lanphier, you may have a new student in that class, so make room for me, all right? The 6th grade will have, they'll be doing away with the keyboarding, and they will be offered advanced web development. And the primary thought behind that is there's so many of our students that are so advanced with keyboards because everything is either their cell phone or either they're using the keyboard for typing, communicating, gaming. So they're very familiar with the keyboard. So our curriculum department felt as though it would be a great time to utilize the opportunity and began to introduce advanced web development to our 6th graders. Our sixth graders will also have the opportunity to enroll in Intro to Coding. And this Intro to Coding will introduce them to Python, which is a software that's widely used in web development, as well as there will be other programs geared towards engineering. Our seventh and eighth graders, primarily our seventh graders, will be offered TV studio production, another class that brings about great excitement. I have to say, ladies, I was very, very excited to hear about all of these classes that are on the horizon. And I think, you know, we're headed in the right direction. Not only do we want to stay on the cutting edge with technology, but we want to make certain that we're offering courses and electives that are exciting to our students. And I believe there are going to be many students that are going to be very excited about the course offering. And then lastly, for the seventh and eighth graders, we have Engineering by Design, Aerospace Engineering, Intro to Mechatronics, Lego Mindstorms, and there is a Coding and Robotics course, along with a couple of proposed electives, one being Studica Robotics, and the other one is for Aquatic Science, which will delve into aquatic climate and ecosystems science. So, as you ladies can see, I took pretty diligent notes. Hopefully, I didn't miss out on anything. And Madam President, that ends my report on curriculum. And if you don't mind, while I have the floor, I would like to go into policy, if that is all right with you.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. All right. Now, so the policy committee met on March 17th. And on this evening's agenda, you'll see policies that are being introduced for the first reading, which I'll go over now. Student surveys and analysis and/or evaluations. You will see a revision in that policy. Employment of support staff members. Administration of medical cannabis, which is relatively new. Ms. Ingo, where are you? Hopefully you're well prepared and you're well abreast of medical cannabis and the administration of this. I thought that was pretty interesting. I have to say that caught my attention. Political contributions, student records, recruitment by special interest groups, and lastly was earned sick leave law. So those are all policies that are being presented this evening for the first reading. Now, the policies that are being introduced for the second reading. Board member resignation and removal. These are bylaws that have been revised. The Family Leave Act, there's a policy that's being presented for the second reading. Every Student Succeeds Act. The Every Student Succeeds Act is actually replacing the policy of No Child Left Behind. So that is being presented for the second reading. And then the Title I fiscal responsibilities and the there's also a policy here for Every Student Succeeds Act complaints. So we have the policy, but then there are also policy and regulations centered around complaints pertaining to Every Student Succeed Acts. And then we have the lead testing of water in the schools. So that is everything that we discussed on March 17th pertaining to policy and regulations. And that ends my report, Madam President.
Thank you, sir. Personnel, Ms. James.
Hi, good evening. I just have a brief update as reflected by the agenda. There were 3 retirements. Oh, sorry, we met on March 17th last Wednesday. There were 3 retirements of seasoned employees. 6 resignations are noted for various reasons. We welcome our 2 new hires, 1 certificated and 1 that is not certificated. We have 3 new long-term subs, which we also welcome to the district, along with 5 daily subs. We acknowledge some leaves of absences that are being taken for various reasons as well. We received an update about those staff and students remaining in quarantine due to potential risk or exposure. And we're very pleased to report that those numbers continue to go down as we enforce mitigation strategies and best practices as far as remaining safe and keeping each other safe. We talked about the week returning after spring break, which Dr. Z has already mentioned. Will be virtual to make sure that we are keeping the community and school districts, students and staff safe as well. We reviewed some outstanding vacancies. There seems to be a need statewide for bus drivers. So we are trying to obtain and secure more of those as much as possible, which we hope can also happen at the virtual job fair that's happening with CJ Pride that's coming up. We looked at a sample of the North Brunswick Township Schools booth from Amy, Ms. Rumbo, and it looks wonderful. So I'm excited for that event to take place. It looks like there's going to be about 500 registrants that will be participating. So we do hope to obtain some potential candidates for the various vacancies that we currently have. We talked about the Education Support Staff Recognition Award, which is a great way to boost morale staff. We already have that for teaching, but for support staff, we think it's very important to make sure that all persons are recognized, irrespective of their job title. We took a look at the fiscal year 2021-22 budget, as Dr. Z has already presented on last Saturday. And of course, there are good news reported that there was no increase on the budget, which is wonderful. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. Student Services.
Yes, Madam President. Student Services met on March 10th, last week or 2 weeks ago. We discussed some R&R strategy classes that were being utilized with grant money or funded via grant money, both in the math and the ELA, we also discussed some morning math and reading intervention 2 days a week. It's being held virtually at the beginning and just to get it moving to help students kind of recover from some of the lags this year in the virtual learning. We had run them for the last couple of years, but they seem to be even more important this year than ever. We also talked about the Summer Academy being planned, some high school credit recovery program, and Road to Success that'll happen again this year. Talking about possibly taking it to the middle school levels because of the large amount of failures that we're seeing with the virtual school. Also, we talked about the fact that some of the teachers are expressing some burnout due to the double teaching, the hybrid model, and the whole nine, and whether we'll have adequate participation from the teachers in the summer, because quite frankly, some of them just have said they need time off, and maybe they had taught for us in previous summers when it was a regular school year, but with the additional stresses this year, maybe they really want their summer to themselves. So we are a little concerned about that and hoping we don't have to go to a third-party provider for that. Hoping we can get enough participation in-house so that we don't have to do that. We did talk about sports, the success of the Qualtrics daily check-ins for all the athletes. You heard earlier tonight about the basketball program, and they were, except for on the freshman level, they did very well. The kids seemed to be very excited from what the coaches reported tonight, which is great to see. We talked about some free YouTube for almost all the games. We are doing as many as possible, but we do have some equipment shortages. When you start having 3 and 4, we're all right if we have less than 5 activities, but when we get above 5 activities, we only have certain resources. So there's nobody's offended. It's just the resources, and obviously with things changing, they talked about some of those coaches today talked about games being changed on a short dime and going to different places. So that also plays into our equipment shortages, because if things get sprung on us last minute, we might not have the 6 camera, but we're working with it the best we can. Winter part 2 had just started, which was swimming, girls volleyball, winter track, and wrestling. Some of those are almost about a week away from being done. They were very short seasons. So, they just started 2 weeks ago, and they seem like they're about a week or 2 away from being done. Talked about some special ed participation, and there are about 62 special ed students back in class every day and doing what they need. We're giving them the education that they need. There is an April is Autism Awareness, and the theme is accept. And extended school year, it's being planned. We're still working out some things, trying to get through staff requests, not trying to push it in that late into August. So it looks like we're modifying the schedule a little bit. It looks like it's going to be June 28th through August 6th. That's not set in stone, but that was which we were heading 2 weeks ago at the meeting time. Like I say, it could change. It includes Fridays, but not for the 4th of July. We will have 30 days of ESY for the children. And we did discuss some compensatory education topics and the state's guidance, which probably will change again, but what their current guidance is. So that's where we were at with the student services, and thank you for your time.
Thank you for your report. Appreciate it. All righty. Ms. Keefe?
Madam President, I would like to present a report on behalf of the negotiations team. On behalf of the negotiations team, I'm very happy to report that we have reached a memorandum of agreement with our administrators, pending final agreement. On behalf of the negotiations team, I would like to thank all of our administrators for their hard work, their collaboration, their partnership, for everything that they do for the district. I would like to personally thank Dr. Z, his team, Ari Schneider, our attorney, for all of their work in putting a great agreement together with our administrators. And we're looking forward to receiving the final agreement to have the administrators ratify and then to present to the board for full ratification.
Excellent work. Thank you. All right.
Madam President, we are done with the reports. We now are going to move on, and we have to accept them. We're on to number 9. And
Awesome.
Thank you. We do need a motion.
I move to approve.
Oh,
sorry.
Sorry, Alicia. Go ahead.
Sorry, I move to approve the administrative committee and student reports.
Second.
Ms. Hawk? Uh-oh.
Mr. Brockman.
Yes.
Mr. Brooks. Ms. James.
Yes.
Ms. Keefe.
Yes.
Mr. Lagori.
Yes.
Dr. Patel.
Yes.
Ms. Toth.
Yes.
Ms. Gonzalez.
Yes.
And Mr. Brooks.
Yes.
Thank you. All the reports are accepted.
Thank you, Ms. Hawk. Madam President, I will take us through the review of the agenda, as we will go a little quicker than what you would think, as all board members have the agenda, looked at it, but just in case, before we do a consent agenda or have any questions, we'll go through for any questions one more time. So we are now, let me just move this over. Okay. I don't see that we are. If you have any questions, please stop. Feel free to stop me, as all this was reported on through our reports, our leaves of absences as we're going through right now, our long-term subs, new certified staff hiring, non-certified staff, as reported by Ms. James, our substitute hirings, 6th period to cover retirement. The 6th period means teachers take an extra responsibility to cover a teacher who's leaving that we can't cover just yet. Our 6th period stipend program at Linwood, paid for through the Title I grant. Our contractual reimbursement contract days. These are grant funded salaries that Mrs. Rumbo does such a great job, as we were able to increase the amount of grant funded. So we have a from 50% to 100% of the salaries. We've been working, Ms. Rumbo and Dr. Jenko have been working to update all our job descriptions. So we keep doing that as we move along. You'll see this as we go along. Each board meeting, curriculum instruction as reported by Mr. Brooks. This is home instruction, as we are required to do so for students that are in need. Services being approved. Our workshops, not as long as normal because of COVID, and we are not sending anybody out to in-person workshops. And then this is the inventory, some equipment we have to be approved. We also have approved our HIB report for the month of March, our filing cabinets. We forgot to mention, and when Ms. Rubin was on, to thank her, she did leave, after leaving as a board member, a $1,000 scholarship for a graduating senior demonstrating leadership, academic excellence, and community service. Again, we thank Ms. Rubin. Our sports cooperative, we're asking to be approved. We're excited to be able to provide ice hockey. I know many people are wondering, how did Dr. Z allow North Brunswick and South Brunswick? Well, truth be told, we have a great relationship, and we're looking forward to having our players on a prorated expense join the South Brunswick team, but it will be a North Brunswick, South Brunswick team. Then we're on a finance bill list. As always noted in our audit, we have them on time to the nickel. Thank you, Ms. Hawk. Our agreements, our purchases of our annual renewals. And you can see here, that's the power purchase agreement to add more solar in the grid onto our new middle school. So these are our resolutions to sell our outdated property and our buses and other large equipment that's been depreciated. Our resolution for be part of the ACE cooperative pricing or energy electric discount, which is we're part of a cooperative. We get wonderful pricing. This is our bid to go out and to continue. It's only approval of the architectural design. One of our last phases of our 10-year roofing plan. We're down to one of the last areas that we finished the whole entire district. This is the last piece on the high school. And of course, our approval to remove some of the costs and engineering expenses as well. Our policy, as mentioned by Mr. Brooks, Transportation, our contracted routes, as duly noted and vetted by Mr. Keener and Ms. Hawk. These are temporary routes. Some are going to permanent routes. And so that'll take us through the review of the agenda. Madam President, I'm going to bring it up all the way back up to, sorry, I'll find it. I will bring it all the way back up to, we just did number 10. We're on 11. So we are on the public session for agenda items only, Madam President. So I will stop there. As you know, we ask if anybody here on our broadcast, you have 3 minutes, address the board and Ms. Gonzalez, and we have Mr. Toro, Madam President, monitoring the YouTube. So I'll let you take it away here and see if we have any questions or approaching the board. This is agenda items only. Mr. Toro, do you see anybody on YouTube with a question that you can relay to us? Michael, we can't hear you. I don't know if you're muted or disconnected. Madam President, I see no questions on our broadcast or also on YouTube, so I will let you assign number 12 because now we can close the public portion for agenda items only.
Yeah, Mr. Duran Harris, would you take?
He's not here.
I'm sorry, you're right, he's not here. So, Ms. James, would you mind taking the public session?
Number 12, Ms. James.
Number 12, sorry, motion to close the public portion.
Sure, I move to close the public portion of the meeting.
Thank you.
Second.
I'm sorry, who was second?
Mr. Brooks.
Thank you very much. Mr. Brockman,
Yes.
Mr. Brooks,
Yes.
Ms. James,
Yes.
Ms. Keefe,
Yes.
Mr. Liguori,
Yes.
Dr. Patel,
Yes.
Ms. Toth,
Yes.
and Ms. Gonzalez.
Yes.
This portion of the meeting is closed.
Thank you. Madam President, we need number 13, consent agenda.
Ms. Keefe, you mind taking that?
Yes, Madam President. I'd like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda items, personnel, finance, miscellaneous, through transportation as listed on the agenda.
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Brockman,
Yes.
Mr. Brooks,
Yes.
Ms. James,
Yes.
Ms. Keefe,
Yes.
Mr. Liguori,
Yes.
Dr. Patel,
Yes.
Ms. Toth,
Yes.
and Ms. Gonzalez.
Yes.
All the motions have passed and accepted.
Now I'm going to share this for Dr. Patel, our new board member. It may seem odd that we're going to now have a public portion. We do 2 public portions, one for our consent agenda items only. Now we are required and we feel obligated to make sure that we could open up to the public for any matters to come before the board. So I will open it up to the public session now on any matter before the board. I see a hand raised, Madam President, Ms. Beth Pasner. Madam President, you may want to give your 3-minute, so we have it for the record, just in case we're consistent.
Absolutely. So, of course, we welcome any comments, but in the interest of allowing for anyone who wants to speak to the board, we ask that you keep your comments or questions to 3 minutes.
Hi, everybody. I don't need 3 minutes tonight, I promise. Good evening, everybody, and good evening, Dr. Zielinski, Board of Education. I wanted to say a couple of things. First, thank you so much to Dr. Z and to Ms. Rumbo for the collaboration in creating the ESP of the Year Award. We are so excited that we will be recognizing our support staff who contribute so much to the district. And we are so happy that we were able to work together to bring that to the district. So thank you so much for that. Also, I just wanted to say thank you for approving that the week following spring break will be an all remote week for the safety of both staff and students. We do appreciate that. So thank you so much. And I just wanted to, wish everybody a great, spring break, a restful spring break. And if you're celebrating a holiday, I hope it's a meaningful experience. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Beth.
Seeing no others, Mr. Toro, do we have anything on the Zoom link? I meant to say YouTube. I'm sorry, we're on the Zoom link. Thank you. Madam President, we do not see anything on Zoom or YouTube. So we're going to have to we do need a motion to close the public portion again.
I'd like to make a motion to close the public portion of the meeting.
Second.
Mr. Brockman,
Yes.
Mr. Brooks,
Yes.
Ms. James,
Yes.
Ms. Keefe,
Yes.
Mr. LaGlory,
Yes.
Dr. Patel,
Yes.
Ms. Toth,
Yes.
and Ms. Gonzalez.
Yes.
This portion is closed.
Madam President, I am happy to report to you that we have no closed session tonight. So the only thing we have left after a wonderful meeting, I thank everyone, is just a motion and a second for adjournment. Wow, nobody wants to go home. Okay, I can discuss the budget if you want a little longer.
I move to adjourn. I move that the meeting be adjourned.
I knew that would get everyone.
Second.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear who second. We're all battling.
Second.
Everybody.
Everybody.
Okay. Mr. LaGlory, you win. You were the last one there. Okay, Mr. Brockman,
Yes.
Mr. Brooks,
Yes.
Ms. James,
Yes.
Ms. Keefe,
Yes.
Mr. LaGlory,
Yes.
Dr. Patel,
Yes.
Ms. Toth,
Yes.
and Ms. Gonzalez.
Yes.
The meeting's adjourned.
Thank you all.
everyone. Really appreciate it.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Have a happy
Have a good
holiday.
night. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Happy spring, everyone.
Same to you.